Okay, DGP 99, Arsenal 5, Real Madrid 1. ¿Qué tal, Steven?
Howdy, KP. We are coming to you on a Thursday night. Wonderful vibes here. We missed you last weekend. We actually missed an episode after the Premier League game, but it doesn't matter. Nothing even matters except the semifinals. Am I right?
Only 4 teams left. The 4 best teams in Europe. The only English team left. Remember who you're talking to, man. I don't want to hear no remontada. Remember who you're unbeaten against, bro.
I saw something that made me crack up. Remontada, Lemonada, Rum Horchata, Arsenal in 5.
Arsenal in 5, dude. Honestly, man, like, who would have saw it coming? Like, I have to be honest with you. First of all, I apologize for my voice, my nose, and everything is just a little bit messed up. Yeah, I just spent 5 days camping in the desert. I don't know if you've ever been camping in the desert, but it's no joke, dude. The dust gets everywhere, man. So I'm doing my best. I caught the game. Obviously, I caught the game. And are you kidding me, dude? 2 games like that from the Arsenal. Really reminding you what we've been saying since the summer. We have a very good team.
Very, very good team. It's crazy to watch a game like this and finally get that validation, man. That validation of what you expected from this team. You see that moments. It's just not all put together. Whether it's the injuries, the red cards, yada, yada. We all know what's happened this season. We all know what's happened. But when the lights are the brightest, you're playing the best team in Europe. You can say that they are the holders, right? And it comes out on the field. It's like, oh, I feel validated. We talk all this stuff on here, all this mess. We believe, blase. Boom. It just happened. 2 ties, 5-1. Absolutely beat the brakes off them dudes.
Absolutely, dude. I spoke with somebody who owns a little shop down the street here that I know is a big Real Madrid fan. And him and I spoke a couple of days before the game. He was all about that comeback vibe, all about that, well, we were shit in the first leg. Mbappe missed a couple of chances. Vinny missed a couple of chances. It's like, all right, man, well, we'll see what happens. I saw him again today, Thursday night, dude. And I said, hey, man, mira tú. What happened? Where were the homies at? What happened? Talk to me. Where was everything you promised? And he said, we were shit again. We were shit in the first leg. We were shit in the second leg. And I said, really, man? You think so? You don't think Arsenal were just very good? And then he said, no, Arsenal are good. I hope you guys go all the way. So Real recognized Real at the same time, man.
Absolutely. There was comments after the game from Carlo Ancelotti, I think Courtois. Both of them, basically no excuses, like, hey, we got beat. They were just better than us. They beat us. Fair is fair. Obviously, there's other comments from like Lucas Vasquez about how we sat back. We didn't do anything. We came to defend. Whatever. Take that for what it is. You know who that's coming from, whose mouth that is. But from Carlo Ancelotti, serial winner. He knows how to win the competition. Hey, they just straight up beat us. What you gonna do? It happens. And I think he said the same thing. Like, I hope they go on and do well. So, respect.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you really think back to the both legs and you try to decide, was that just a really, really good Arsenal performance? And you think back to who was Real Madrid's best player? Who was their best player?
Courtois. I think it's Courtois.
Is their goalkeeper, right? Like, their goalkeeper was their best player. And that tells you everything you need to know about how dominant Arsenal were on both legs.
That's a great shout. We're thinking about what we want to talk about today. Obviously, talk about the games, but it's really about the squad as a collective. And there's a lot of great shouts from everybody. People showed up. showed out. And you think about their squad, that's got to be very disappointing. I really can't choose someone on the field who had the best performance. I don't know. I honestly can't pinpoint any of them. Courtois is the one that had moments. He's got the highlights from both ties, right? Both legs, excuse me. He got moments in both legs. You're like, damn, world-class keeper. The rest of them dudes, oof, sore.
I really feel like that tells you everything you need to know, man. And at the same time, however, I mean, Arsenal fans, nervous, man. Nervous in the first leg, nervous in the second leg.
No, it's more like nervous before the game, nervous when the game started, nervous at halftime. I think those nerves were like absolutely shaken off when Martinelli put in the second goal. There ain't no way now. We're clear. So funny. I want to think even people when Vinny scored that goal, I bet there were some people in the fan base that were like, oh no, it's happening. It's happening.
Dude, there's just so much PTSD there that, yeah, you really couldn't believe that it was happening until Martinelli put that goal in. And at the same time, I have to be honest with you, I'm really happy that we both won both legs. I think that was really cool that we actually got what we deserved in that second leg as well.
Definitely deserved. I believe we've won, this is going back in the day, we've won both games at the Bernabeu. Right? So you got to take that for what it is. But yeah, winning both legs, deserved. We deserve to win both. The one thing that makes me a little bit sore is we should have came out with a clean sheet in both games. Right? Gave away the goal. It is what it is. It was always in our locker, right? I think Real Madrid were hoping for that. That's what they expected from us. That first half, they came out punching, bro. They were absolutely punching, pressing. They were coming at us. Arsenal has that in them. They might give us a gift or two. Well, that gift came very, very late. And it is what it is. I would have loved to seen 2 clean sheets because the performances kind of showed that, I think.
I agree with you. I absolutely do. And it was really interesting to see how they approached the game. And as you were watching it, I mean, before the game, there were definitely nerves. I felt like at halftime, the fan base actually needed the breather more than the players with the way that things were going. And deep down, I felt like that second 45 was probably my biggest worry. It's like, they can do a lot in 45 minutes. I don't really care about the full 90. These last 45 minutes with them going at it, they can do a lot. But that stadium, I have to give them credit, dude. The way that game started, I did feel it in the air that, like, all this comeback talk that they're saying, the whistles, the constant whistles that I'm hearing, that's like, Emirates, are you listening? Are you listening? This is the atmosphere I want to see going forward.
Incredible scenes, man. Game starts, the fans are in it. The pace that they play at, plus the intensity that the fans have, it's almost like that feeling that Anfield, I think, can get. I'd almost relate it to that. You've seen Anfield be the place where tides can just be changed from the fan base. St. James Park is a good example in the Prem. The fan base can just change the feeling of the game. Obviously, it's the Bernabeu. This is a historical place. Like, they created something there. And the players played to it, man. That first 45, the pace of the game was crazy. I almost thought it was a little bit different. First thing you got to do is get through the first half. Got to get through the first 45 minutes. I relate this to boxing, baby. They punched themselves out. That's the way I saw it. They came out with everything they had in the first half. If they get a goal, the intensity stays high. The intensity stays up. They didn't get that goal in the first half. I think there was a level that dropped. Of course, I guess to your point, if they did get a goal in the 50th minute, the intensity comes back up again. But the longer you keep them at bay, right? The longer you keep them at that arm's length, the more the intensity dropped, and it just kind of played into our hands.
They play so fun in a way there were a few moments in that game where I think you had called this out before the tie began, that they like to play this 5v5 style. There were a few times that I noticed that, and I was just like, oh man, like, if they get this ball back, I'm so scared. But then at the same time, the way that they suddenly press your players, and it's not just one person. Like, they see the person on the ball, and then you see like 1, 2, 3. They're all there and just going for the ball. Like, you're not about to escape this. And I have to give a lot of credit to the Arsenal players. I think they've coped really well with this tie. And I have to, deep down, Steven, I have to go back to Porto and just say, we learned so much from that tie.
Good shout. We know you love a Porto shout on here. Real Madrid, you got to give them some sort of credit. I could see a lot of teams crumbling to what they put out on Wednesday. Obviously, their fans are very disappointed. This is our worst team in, the last 3 decades. Whatever they want to say, that's fine. Obviously, it's their team. They watch them. I could see a lot of teams going in there Wednesday night and absolutely crumbling. Okay? I want to say we've met that level. If they come up against us again, say next year, they're going to be ready. This is a real opponent. This is a real team. They got a different level to them, right? We did not crumble to the moment. 18-year-old kid on the field at left back. I mean, we're talking the first 30 minutes, the intensity of the game. This dude's picking up fouls left and right. When I saw Miles Lewis-Skelly picking up fouls like that, I was like, oh, we're playing today. We're up for it, huh?
In the first 5 minutes, there was a moment where he absolutely spun out Jude Bellingham. And he fouled him. He fouled him hard, which I thought it was a yellow by the way that the foul looks. Because, like, his arms all over his face and just drags him down. It just looks a little bit rough to me. But I knew he was locked in for it, dude. He loves spinning out Jude Bellingham. Something special about this kid, dude. We'll have to get to it all, man. I want to focus on that first 30 minutes real quick. There's been a lot of chatter about, like, Arsenal only came to defend. But, like, what did they really do in those first 30 minutes? They had an offside goal in the second minute, and then they had a shot from, like, 30 yards out. And that was it, really, for the first half from them. The rest of it was all Arsenal. Saka had a shot that got saved. We got that penalty call. What did you think of that?
I was very surprised that we got that out of the blue. Here's what I'll say about this one. If that went against us, I'd be mad. And that's just based on the precedent set by what we watch in our league, right? And I'm talking about in the Premier League. How many times have we seen Big Gabby taken down, making that exact same run from the top of the box? Do I think it's a foul? Yeah, I do think it's a foul. But the ball wasn't even in the vicinity of him. In the vicinity of Marino. Now, in the past, if the ball is in the vicinity and that happens, I think it's a foul. You should call it. But the ball wasn't even near him. Like, it just felt very odd for them to call that.
I agree with you. We've sat behind this mic before, and I've said there's been a handful of times where I've seen occasions and thought, I've never seen that. It's usually against Arsenal. Honestly, I've never seen Arsenal get that call.
No, absolutely not.
When it happened, I was so shocked. I kept thinking, like, really? This is what... When they called the referee to go to the VAR, I thought something had happened for Madrid. I wasn't even thinking about that corner play, dude.
That's funny. Before the game, I was talking to someone, one of our friends, Ron Reyes, one of our guests here on the show. I said the over-under on PKs is going to be 1.5. Over-under 1.5 PKs for this game. And I'm thinking they're both going to go for Real. Lo and behold, we come up with this one. Obviously, you don't feel great about it, but you take them. You absolutely take them. Bukayo steps up. Oof. A big oof. A lot of energy from the Arsenal squad to seem to be like, oh no.
Oh no is absolutely right, dude. Oh no. Why did he do that? I was watching that and like not only the energy getting sucked out of Arsenal players, the energy that Courtois was exerting on the crowd, dude. The camera was zoomed in on him and he was so pumped. And it was one of those moments where I thought, we're never going to score on this guy for the rest of this game.
That could have been a tide-turning moment. So we're talking about them playing with this intensity. They're looking for a moment to keep that up, to keep the energy. That's a moment. It's not a goal for them, but it's a goal. It's a moment to keep them in the tie. If we had put a goal in right there, oof, 4-goal deficit's probably a little much, right? But that kept the energy in them. I'm really surprised Saka tried that. Now, I will say, dude's got some balls. Dude's got some balls to even go for that. I didn't think that was in his locker. I didn't think he would ever try something like that.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing, that sequence, to just think about his decision making and then try to understand how the fan base feels about it. I feel like there's a lot of people who, if that game had turned out terribly, I mean, his DMs would be flooded, right? And that's a scary moment as just an observer. Like, I'm a fan just like you, but at the same time, I worried about his health when that happened. And I feel like that's not okay. That's not a great sign of the society that I'm living in, where this guy missed a PK and I'm just like so worried about what the aftermath can look like for his personal life. And at the same time, in a weird way, I just thought, I'm okay with it. I want to see that from him. We've talked about him kind of growing up, right? Kind of building out this new persona of just like, I'm him. That was kind of an I'm him moment, him going for it, because I don't know if you saw that big clip that was going around before the first game where an interviewer asked him, how much do you think you guys are, like, your levels are below, your abilities are below Vinny Jr. and Mbappe? And I almost felt like that was at the top of his head when that moment came up of like, how much am I below them? Like, I'm going to chip your fucking goalkeeper at your crib, dude. What are you talking about? How much am I below them? So I kind of appreciated the attempt.
I had said this after the first leg. He was the best attacker on the field. After the second leg, he was the best attacker in the entire tie. Both legs, he was the best attacker. So before the PK, he hit one that was saved. He hit one wide with his right foot. He was feeling himself, right? And after the fact, now we can say these things. But like, I kind of felt the way what you just said. He missed the PK and my initial reaction is, oh shit, like damn. But then they keep playing the replay and he tried to chip him. I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, you got some balls. If that had gone in, like, that's a huge moment for you. They'd be showing this highlight repetitively. It's like, to me, there's something in his head where he's like, yeah, I'm trying to do something at the Bernabeu. I'm trying to be that guy. So you gotta take your mind out of, oh shit, we're in the mud here, versus, no, I'm that guy. And he's gonna continue with that level the rest of the game, right?
Absolutely, dude. And to see him bounce back and then eventually do chip their goalkeeper at their own crib after a beautiful build-up. Are you kidding me? That was kind of like vintage Arsenal a bit, dude. Some of the passing right at the top of the box to then slipping him in for a one-time chip. Oh, I really enjoyed it, man.
Ole's in the 55th minute. We're starting to pass around him a little bit. That's when I felt like the energy from them was coming undone a bit. Ole's in the 55th minute. Shout out to the away fans. Hearing that from like the third or fourth tier, whatever that is, shout out. And then, yeah, the passing move for the goal. Vintage stuff. Again, the goal goes in and you can see their back line kind of looking at each other like, damn, it's done.
When you watch the replay of it, Rudiger ends up outside, one-on-one with Saka. And then Saka passes it around and he moves inside. And for a second, Rudiger and their right back switch again. And that's when they lose him. And it's just such a beautiful sequence. And Odegaard's involved. Rice is involved. This fucking guy, Mikel Merino, is involved. We're going to have to spend a good few minutes on him. But, man, The goal goes in, the vibes are super high, you thinking it's 4, game over, and then within a minute, maybe here comes that moment, Steven, that you've been talking about. I was a little bit scared. Raya just rolls the ball to Saliba, who uncharacteristically just has no idea. Vinny's breathing down his throat, nicks the ball off of him, and bang. I was just like, no, it's not about to become 4-4. No, don't tell me.
So that was in the 67th minute when Vinicius scored. Honestly, Saliba just fell asleep. Like, that's simple as. To me, he gets that ball. Should he have gotten the ball in the first place? Maybe not. But that first touch, the way he just like deadened it, like he did not know Vinny was coming. He had no clue. Maybe he's like, I'm kind of bored out here. I'm a little bit bored. Let's make this kind of interesting. Why don't you guys keep coming? I want some more highlights. If you guys want to sign me, I want to put up some more highlights for you guys.
I thought besides that moment, he had a few really nice involvements in containing Mbappe. There was one in particular I remember when they played it over the top to Mbappe and he tried to do a few moves and then Saliba just like made him dribble out of bounds and shielded him. Like, there were a few moments like that where he was really covering that back line, and it kind of sucks that it gets overshadowed by this moment, but at the same time, you do want to see a little bit better from him, I guess, mentality-wise, but I can't blame the players too much either. Like, you're up 3-0, it's in the 66th minute that you make it 4-0. There's a little bit of a mental drop-off that I can't really blame you for that, honestly.
No, all's forgiven. He had a great game otherwise. It's one moment. Again, this is the way that we play, out of the back. There's always going to be moments during the season when this happens, right? As conservative as we are, there are going to be moments when you lose the ball on your own third, when you play out of the back. You just hope that they're not in the quarterfinal of the Champions League, which is a shame. But to what you just said, 4-0 on aggregate, it's the 66th minute. Like, yeah, maybe you're, for this 5-minute span, your brain just isn't completely turned on, which is a shame because I would have loved the clean sheet, but all is forgiven for me. All is forgiven.
All right, man. Well, before we just kind of wrap up the game and chat players specific, there's one guy only, Martinelli Hive. Where you at, dude? Rise up, dude.
Rise up. Best Brazilian winger on the field? What do you think?
Across both legs? Dude, possibly, man. Possibly. I mean, Rodrigo, throw him out of the conversation. See ya. Vinicius had some moments. Did he look like a flare? Sure. Is that what you are interested in? Great. That's not what I'm really into. Martinelli, I think it's going really under the radar how beautifully and fast he dribbles that ball to score the second goal. Like, the run he makes is great. The pass from Marino is great. But the touches to get around that, the defender just gives up. That's how fast he dribbles by him. And I think, like, that is the Martinelli we know and we love.
That's the Martinelli we know and we love. And that's a goal we've seen from him. That is a goal we've seen from him before. That's his bread and butter. When you can get out in front of people, right? Get people running back towards their own goal. Huge open spaces. I'm super happy with him in these two legs. I had said pretty recently, like, I need to reevaluate how I'm assessing Martinelli, how I'm looking at him. I think sometimes your expectations are too high. My expectations for him are too high, probably. But you put him in the bright lights, Real Madrid, both legs. I honestly couldn't ask for more from him. Like, I just couldn't ask more of him. Defensively, fantastic. Offensively, gave us some moments. I'm happy for the dude. And if this is what we're going to get, and we can get another left winger in that can challenge him and maybe come in against mid-table teams and things like that, maybe that's not what Martinelli's good at. Maybe that's just not his game. But a game like this, he's up to the level. Like he's proven that he's up to the level.
Look, and we're seeing some versatility. He starts that run from the right wing, and he finishes that goal from a left wing coming into the center forward position. The guy is a goal scorer. I mean, you got to give him that. He's at least a chance creator for himself. The first leg, he had a few good moments. His shots got saved. The second leg, yes, he had a few really good moments in front of goal, but also, dude, he megged the shit out of Endrick. That meg was disgusting, dude. I enjoyed that. Young man.
His own countrymen let him know. So 2-1 to the Arsenal. Huge celebration. Again, right in front of the away fans. I love it. Everybody's buzzing. The Bernabeu starts emptying. 2-1. 5-1 on aggregate. Big time things, KP. Big time things. Man of the match. Declan fucking Rice. ×2. Both legs. Man of the match. Give it to me.
So good. So good. Start to finish. The mentality. There's a new clip of him going around, of him in the tunnel, telling the players, like, have no fear, ignore the whistles. There's this new thing going around. The passion, the leadership. I mean, Thomas Partey, we're going to have to get into this, the only downside of the game, but he let him know, you are a fucking idiot. He let him know out on that pitch in front of God and everybody, you are an idiot. And you got to give him respect for that, dude. The way he was intercepting their passes in his stride, the way he had Jude Bellingham throwing his toys out of the crib, dude. Are you kidding me? That's my $100 million signing, man.
Huge. This is really a coming out from him. I want to say we're just talking about Saka being the best attacker. He proved that he was the best midfielder on the pitch over both legs. That's big. We're playing Real Madrid. They got players. They got big time players. Declan Rice was the best player on the field. The first leg, he hits 2 free kicks. Incredible stuff. Skill. Second leg, defensively, dominant. Absolutely dominant. Involved in the goal. Like you said, involved in the goal. Had that huge moment. Who did he tackle? Was that Jude? It was Jude. Jude was running into the box, and he was basically through. Declan Rice, out of nowhere, gets his foot around, somehow touches the ball. Wow. I mean, I was off the couch at that point. Huge.
It was really nice. I was actually a little bit upset with the referee because on the replay, it looked like the tackle was so good that it was a goal kick. The ref gave a corner, but it was so good that it was a goal kick, dude. And I mean, I just think Declan Rice has really, to your point, proven himself over these last 2 legs that he is about that life, dude. And you know what? He's about that life at the left 8. That's left 8, Declan Rice, man.
I'm super happy for him. The leadership is definitely something that came through. It's very evident. He's super vocal. He's a big character. He's kind of got the ability to not only jaw at the opponents, but as we saw, jaw at our own players. Odegaard's obviously the captain, but he's more of a silent leader, which is fine. But you need more than one leader on the pitch. And without Big Gabby there with his big mouth, you need Declan Rice there with his big mouth, letting people know what's going on, right? So the leadership that he brings, let alone the amazing football ability, but the leadership, icing on the cake, man.
Absolutely, dude. I want to stay on the midfield a little bit longer, man, because I got to be honest with you, Thomas Partey, I think across both legs, incredible performances from him. I saw he had 100% pass accuracy in this last game. Are you kidding me? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about this guy before the season started, that his legs are gone, he's done, don't put him in this midfield. And now everybody is suddenly saying, what an idiot, he's going to miss the PSG game, he's our best midfielder.
Oof. If you've been listening to us for a while, we each picked one player at the beginning of the season. We call them our one to watch, and so on. We wanted to see have a good year, has potential, not one of the big stars on the team, but someone that's kind of just been floating around. You don't know what to expect from him. KP picked Thomas Partey, and I wasn't sure about that pick, but has it come good. Amazing pick. He's had a great season. I thought he played really well in both legs. Obviously, came from Atletico Madrid, knows what the Bernabeu is about, has experienced playing against Real Madrid. He knows what it is. But man, I'm pretty disappointed in him picking up that yellow card. I thought that was quite silly. Yes, Rudiger's obviously acting a fool. Needed to be on a card earlier in the game. He's just being an asshole, right? Let's just call it what it is. Rudiger's just being an asshole, trying to egg someone into it. And you're telling me the most experienced player on the Arsenal side is the one that's going to get egged into a yellow card and get suspended? I'm pretty sick by that. It happened like in the 87th minute. The game's done, bro. The game is done. So the fact that he has to miss the first leg, the best version of Arsenal has Thomas Partey in the 6. You can't tell me anything else. That is the best version of this team. He's not going to be playing at right back either. He's going to be sitting at home watching the game, which is very disappointing.
Yeah, and look, I think at the end of the day, he had enough. He had enough of Rudiger, and he lost his head. Okay, I'll give you that. He did. Not great from him. But overall, like there's been all this talk about how much crossing Real Madrid did, and how was that their game plan to just cross the ball in? But they're overlooking the fact that like they could not go down the middle. They tried, but they couldn't get past Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. It was either intercepted by one of them or it was tackled by the other one. They could not go down the middle. And every time they went to the outside, here's where I want to bring in the big dogs. The outside back said, "You're not beating me one-on-one. Vinny Jr., one-on-one against Timber? Pocket." Rodrigo, one-on-one against Miles Lewis-Skelly? Pocket. Are you kidding me, dude? How good were these outside backs in both these ties?
Both of them talking their shit on the field. Timber, Vinicius Jr. So there's one moment in the first leg where he had a shot. I think he tried to curl one, hit it way wide. Second leg, all I can think of is Vinicius earning corner kicks. That's about it. A lot of corner kicks because he's going 1v1 with Timber. Timber said, "Nah, man, not today. Not today." One-on-one defending, we say Tomiyasu is probably the best on the field or best on the squad. I don't know. Timber might say, "I can go bar for bar, bro."
Timber is like that, dude. A few times, he's so quick to press Vinny. And if he didn't get the ball, it was a foul, I suppose. And there were fair fouls. None of his fouls were yellow cards. I think he went into the game with a yellow card. I think we were worried about him possibly having a suspension. But I think he had like maybe 5 fouls or so, and they were all just regular, and they were just hard presses. But I absolutely hear you, man. Not only was he great defensively, but going forward, he had a few really pivotal moments, man. There was a couple of times he dribbled them. There was a couple of times he beat Vinny to the passes, to the outlets. He was just beating him to the ball. Like, I'm fast. I'm just as fast as you, dude. I'm going by you. But Miles Lewis-Skelly, I mean, I can talk about this kid for like 3 podcasts, dude. There's so much I love about him. And I've been talking about him since the summer, saying don't lose sleep on him. I know everyone's focused on Ethan Nwaneri, but don't lose focus on this kid, man. And I think he's had some really good performances this season. The one against Manchester City, the 5-1 when he scored, I really liked. But these last 2 games, I think these are my favorite performances from him.
Oh, absolutely. Miles Lewis-Skelly is a dog. Sorry about the sirens, by the way. I don't know what's going on outside. They're active out here. They are active out here. Welcome right to now, the district, man. Yeah, I got a window open. Sheesh. They're going off outside. Lewis Skelly is a dog. Something that I want to get this on the record. He's now embedded himself in the squad. I don't see him coming out through the end of the season. If the season ends on current form, I see him being the starter next season. But let me say something that I think is kind of changing the way we play a little bit. He plays like he's not really scared of anything, and he doesn't play into the conservative mentality. He does what he's gonna do, right? And there are moments he got caught in this second leg. He got caught trying to dribble. They took the ball off him. They had a counterattack moment. We got it back, no issue. But if you're gonna tell me there's one play a game he's gonna lose the ball like that, and not a dangerous part of the field, we're at the middle of the park at the time, but he's gonna be dribbling through the lines. Man, he dribbled through them 3-4 times. Picks up fouls. How many? 4 or 5 times he picked up fouls. The risk reward there is just incredible. Zinchenko, I guess you could throw it back to Tierney. Calafiori is maybe of the same cloth as him, but left back wise, like this dude he's almost like creating this evolution within our team, like on the spot. That's how I'm seeing it.
If you have been watching Arsenal for the last 2 years, and I told you that we're gonna go to the Bernabeu, and our left back is going to be Maslow Skelly, and he's going to absolutely fucking boss it, you would slap me across my face, man. With
Crazy.
Calafiori coming in the summer, with Zinchenko being anonymous, this kid is so good. Ethan Waneri did not play a single minute across both legs. Maslow Skelly, that's a 90-minute man. That's a 90-minute man at 18, dude. He's built different.
Diffy. So he's going to change the way we play offensively. He don't care. He's going to go for it. He said, fuck the conservative ball. I can do something. I can create something, create these moments. And then defensively, Rodrigo, again, in the pocket, going home in a body bag. What is going on with this dude? I've heard a lot about Rodrigo. I know you've been on Rodrigo talking about he should come to the Emirates. I don't know. After watching these, I don't know about that.
It's really, really scary what he did to Rodrigo. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, those outside wingers for Real Madrid, like their game plan is usually get the ball outside, beat the guy one-on-one, either square it or just put it on target. And they couldn't beat us once down the line. Right? Rodrigo was just giving up. He was recycling. Vinny was settling for crosses. He was settling. He was just like, maybe I'll try this. But like, Maslow Skelly, man. Oh, man. You seen a clip of him going around, of him after the second goal, I think?
Vamos!
Screaming Vamos at the Real Madrid fans. I mean, that's gangster shit, bro. I love to see it. Listen, I hate to bring the mood down a little bit, but I got to get us back into the midfield and talk about a guy who wears the armband, because I thought he was bad.
So you think he was bad? I guess explain that to me. In what capacity do you think he was bad?
I mean, he's still my go-to guard. He will always be go-to guard. But in that first half, I think I was so disappointed with his decision making. With him settling, with him being worried about maybe losing the ball, with him maybe displaying weakness. That's how I viewed it. I felt like he was playing weak. Like when he would get pressed against them sometimes, I just felt like I started to understand why maybe Real Madrid sold him.
I kind of saw some of the moments. So he gets the ball in an attacking third, and a lot of things weren't coming off. And decision making is probably what I would say is what was lacking for him. We know the ability's there. The passes just weren't coming off. And he gets into those pockets sometimes, and you see stuff happening. Players making runs. You kind of perk up. Your ears perk up. Uh-oh, here it comes. And it just doesn't come off. Recently, it just hasn't been happening. And it's kind of a shame because we know he can do it. But the actual physicality of it, I guess you can say he's a slight dude, and we know that. I didn't feel like today or yesterday was a day where I felt like wasn't there physically. I thought he pressed really well. I got to give him credit for the press, and he always going to leave his heart out there. He going to be a dog. So I respect that. Decision making left me wanting more. But I'm surprised the physicality. You felt like he was getting monstered?
A little bit. In that first half especially. I think in the second half he really grew into the game. And look, there's that highlight of him when he just left Jude Bellingham for dead, like spun him out like butter, dude. So he had still his moments. There was one or two moments in the second half. I remember he had a shot that was just wide. He set himself up really well for that shot. And there was another one where he cut to his right and he shot it, and Courtois saved it, and then he had to pick it back up from underneath his bar. So in the second half, he really definitely did grow into it. But over the two ties, if I reflect on his overall performance, what kind of stands out to me is the moments I remember him the most are when he got the ball and he released it to Saka really quickly.
Yeah.
Like those are the moments. Those are the moments that stand out to me that I felt like, oh, that's perfect. That's a great Odegaard play. Like get it to him and get it to Saka really quickly. And with Saka being out this season for a few months, we kind of saw that, right? Like this guy does depend on him.
When I was talking about decision making, like that's the next thought is, well, the decision making wasn't there, but he was trying things, and everything that he was trying was to Saka. So when those balls didn't come off, it was all to Saka. So I don't fault him for that because Saka was the best player on the field. He's the best attacker on the field. So I don't fault him for it at all. But all of the moments that did lack were to him. Hey, fair enough. He's had a tough season, Odegaard has. But you know he's gonna press. And at this point, as long as you give me those bare minimum, right? You give me the bare minimum expectations of like actually just showing up and performing like a professional, he does it, and he's gonna do it every time. So respect to the captain.
Yeah, it's a rough season. It hasn't had the silky smoothness around the edges that you're used to. It's been definitely rough on him, dude. And the moments that he's really needed it to come off, the assists, they just haven't, because the other person hasn't finished it for him. So like that's also been hurtful, you know?
Yeah, but you know who did come up with some assists? He said, I got you. Odegaard, don't worry. I used to play in the midfield too. Mikel Merino, the new 9. He said 6 upside down. It's a 9 now.
He is so good. I mean, when I think back to us trying to talk about this guy in the summer and in like the early stages of the season, I mean, I feel bad for giving him so much shit for losing that first duel and just breaking his shoulder. Like now that I've seen him play for like 6 months, dude, he's a baller, man. Are you kidding me? That second assist to Martinelli, the way he just kills that ball on his foot, the way he controls that before he makes the pass is levels, dude.
Silk, first assist and the second assist had to have some deftness to it. Both balls had to have some deftness to them. He applied it. So we're talking 2 legs against Real Madrid. We got Mikel Merino playing 9. Oh no. He comes out with 2 assists and a goal. Hey, that's a good return. That's a hell of a return, right? For a Mikel Merino 9. I'm taking that. What did Mbappe come out with? Can you remind me?
Goose egg.
So we take those. He's taken this in stride. He made a post and I think he had 6 goals since Kai Havertz's injury. He's got 6 goals, and he made a post, and his other players in that time frame, I think he's like above Haaland. He's above Vinicius. He's on that level, right? He said 6 upside down. It's a 9 now. He put that song on it. I said, damn, this dude's tough.
He is so good, dude. The effort that he puts in, going up for those 50-50s. I mean, Rudiger had a knee in his back. He had a head in his head. He tried everything that he could. And this guy still finished the game. Like, no problem, man. It's cool. Keep your physicality, dude. Like, I'm not Odegaard. Like, I'm about this life too, man. And at the same time, dude, I mean, if you really think about it, a lot of the key moments over the 2 ties come down to him. The 3rd goal at the Emirates. That's a killer, dude. That goal was a killer.
Oh, absolutely was. And that was swift, right? That was what a moment. You say this dude's your new 9, doesn't play there. That was like a poacher type goal to me. Right? He slotted that thing. Ball was kind of behind him. Puts his foot through it. The 2 assists that he had, I'm playing 9, but these are I play midfield actually. Deftness on both of those balls, huge. So the intensity of the first half, obviously they're pressing hard. We have to go long quite a bit. Big man. This dude's huge. Won a lot of second balls off of him. A lot of second balls. And those are those unsung type moments. Kai Havertz. People can hate on Kai Havertz all they want. But when you don't have Kai Havertz on the field, who's winning those? Who's going to win the first, at least even challenge for the first ball? Got Trossard up there. He's too small. He can't do it. Moreno can, though. And he was able to knock down a lot of balls for us. So you gotta give the man credit. The expectations were so low, and he is just like absolutely excelling now to the point where I expect moments from him next year too. I don't know where he's going to play, but I don't really care. The dude can play, so I'd be happy to see him coming on the field.
100%. I'm looking forward to him playing next year, dude. That first goal, Saka's goal, it comes off of him winning the header. He flicks it on to Saka for that one-on-one against Rudiger to set the whole thing up. Absolutely hear you on it, dude. And I'm excited. I mean, we've said it a few times now that, look, yes, some of the transfer windows have been a little rough. Yes, there's been some downs and ups to it. But at the end of the day, like, Mikel Arteta and the transfer window business that we've had, like, they've gained your trust over these last 4 years. You can't tell me they haven't had your trust a little bit, right? Even, we won this entire tie without Calafiori and Benny Blanco playing. That's the squad they've built, dude. If I told you that, like, you wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't.
You wouldn't. And there was supposed to be a player sold in January. People wanted him out. I think he goes by the name of Jakub Kiwior. Is that right? Said, get him gone.
Some people in the streets call him the silent baby-face Polish assassin.
That's what I've also heard. I've only heard it here on this pod, but I love it. I love it.
What a couple of performances from him, man.
Yo, give it to me, man. I know you've kind of had mixed feelings with this guy, but he's proven something.
I've had my ups and downs with Kiwior. Look, I think that does he struggle from time to time against a big Premier League striker like a Mateta? Sure. He's going to have some tough times against that guy. Against a Kylian Mbappe, what's really his weakness? Just pace. Like, for him to be your safety net of a player on the squad, it's not a bad option. You've hit this point a few times now that it's not a bad option. If he's content with it and if he likes to play this role and he shows up for these games, it's not a bad option. And look, in this second leg, like the first leg, he was shaky. Dude. He had his moments, especially in that first half. But the second leg, I don't think he put a fucking foot wrong, dude.
Looks confident. KP, the dude looked confident. Dare I say, he looked like he was running the show at times. Dare I say it? I mean, respect to Saliba, but this dude was like, hey, I'm here to play. I'm here to fucking do this thing. I'm not just here to be the third string, center back, blah, blah, blah. Like, he came up to actually do the damn thing. His passing is great. We know that. Defending is where you're like, I don't know. It could be shaky. Those crosses coming in. Dude, off his head. He was taking long shots to the torso. He took a big bang early on. Huge ball came into him. Took it in the stomach. Didn't care. Didn't go down. I'm about this. If you're telling me this is a squad player we can keep, I'm all for it. This dude doesn't play all season. Goes and plays his international games as a starter. He's a starter for his nation, Poland. Not a little team that's playing, It's like, it's Poland. They're playing decent sides, right? They are a decent side themselves. Guy comes in. 3 games, he's running top speed now. He's in form. Hey, I'm gonna take that every day of the week. He's come up huge. I want to say sorry to him. I don't think I was very confident in him coming into this. I think the fan base wasn't. We're all saying sorry, Mr. Kiwi. I wasn't familiar with your game.
That's fair, dude. I apologize too. After those 2 performances, I apologize too. For me, I was saying put TP5 at right back.
We said put anybody else back there.
That's where I was on the topic. So I do apologize too. I think he really showed out, and I got to give him credit. And look, he's our guy going into the end of the season. This is it, right? I don't think Big Gabby's coming back anytime soon. I don't expect a lot of changes. Mikel Arteta seems to be in run it back mode, and there's only one man to really wrap up this game with, and it's him.
Tricky Mickey. You had said you hope we don't fold early on. I think this is before the first leg. I hope we don't fold. Now that you can say is Arsenal heritage. We've seen our team fold multiple times through the years. And we're going back to when Wenger was the coach. We've seen the team fold. This was one of those first times, and I think this is why it feels so monumental to us. It's like we stood up toe-to-toe with somebody, and we went bar for bar, and we're the ones that knocked them out. We didn't get punched out. We knocked the opponent out, okay? And you got to give credit. Where does the credit go? Got to give it to the manager.
He's been brilliant, dude. In this competition, he's been brilliant. And maybe it's just that it's a different setting. Maybe that's why we saw it early on in him with the FA Cup, with the success that he had. Is that, put the league aside, bar for bar, this guy can come up with some cool shit and try to just unlock you or try to nullify you. To the extent that Real Madrid's midfield was non-existent, there has to be credit to the manager and how he came up with that game plan. Those are not bad midfielders.
Absolutely. So the other tie across the way was Villa PSG. And I'll be honest, I did not want Villa because Villa know how to play us. They're just going to set up low and they don't care. We don't care. These other teams, Real got too much pride to do that. They got way too much pride. They kind of did it in the first leg, right? They did kind of set up kind of deep, but they're kind of a snake, and they got players that can play, and they open the game up at times. Villa, they're gonna play nasty ball. They don't care. So the competition is different. A lot of teams try to come out and play us. We've never seen this squad before. I don't know. I think we might be somebody to reckon with, man. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of my skis or not, but these are the holders of the competition. So I've heard quite a few times when Real Madrid ends up winning the competition, like, they're not good. They're not that good. This isn't their best team. Then they end up winning the damn thing, right? This year, same thing happened, but we knocked them out in the quarter, so hold that.
Knocked them out, and I think, look, there was a lot of psychological warfare happening out of Spain, and he really helped. he really helped the team cope with that. Got to give him credit, dude. The way that those guys showed out away at the Bernabeu, like really standing up to the task. Like my friend who's a big Real Madrid fan, he had texted me after maybe 5 minutes saying knock knock. And, and after the first 15, I was like, knock knock, dude. Like right back at you. We're about this life too.
So I give a lot of credit to him for that, like putting us in that position. Do you stand on that as well?
I think so. I think Mikel deserves huge credit for this memorable result. I mean, you're never gonna forget this result, dude. You will always know when Arsenal beat Real Madrid home and away in the Champions League 2025, dude. You were there. And who was at the helm? It was Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, that's how I see it. I think a lot of obviously give credit to the players. We talked about Lewis Skelly early in the game, having the confidence to like earn those fouls, trying to spin on players. Obviously, Declan Rice is the leader. He gonna say his stuff, but it all comes from the top, and it comes from Arteta. I think he had everybody jazzed up, and we've seen him like take quotes from people, right, and show it before the game. Like Ivan Toney had said some stuff. Hey, remember this, blah blah blah. You don't think all this remontada, all these things people saying how Real's going to come back, Arsenal aren't. They're not that squad. They crumble. They have a history of crumbling. I'm sure he said some stuff, and we stood up to it.
Look, and at the end of the day, isn't he a bit of a Barcelona man?
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, there's also that. You can't overlook that, man. And I have to say, though, I'm wondering, you said you don't want to get ahead of your skis. Let's just say, let's have a pessimistic view and say we don't end up with a trophy this season, given everything that's happened so far, whatever. How monumental do you think this win is in terms of this team getting closer to a trophy next season? Like, what do you think it means? Because the more and more I assess and reflect on our Champions League campaign and our overall campaign, and I look ahead to next year, I can't shake this feeling that, like, if you give us an injury-free season, the treble is fucking on, dude.
He said, fuck them skis, boy. What are we getting ahead of?
I'm jumping.
There goes my hero. Dang. I say talk that shit, to be honest. I think our expectations coming into the season were quarterfinals. I think both of us for Champions League, we have exceeded that. But I think we could go on and do some damage. PSG, good team. But I think we can go on and do it. The experience from this season alone, just from this Champions League run, man, huge. I think back last year, the Bayern Munich tie, I think the players probably didn't have a good taste in their mouth after that. I don't think we came out and put on our best performance, especially at home. You cannot say that about this year. We put on a great performance at home, and we went away, said, we're not going to go ahead and like just tie this game. We're going out to win it. We're the better team. I think it's almost like exponential. Like this is a huge hump to get over. This is something. I mean, it's Arsenal. I've said this a couple times now. It's Arsenal heritage to bottle these things, right? We've Bayern Munich multiple years, Barcelona multiple years. We can't beat the big squad. We just can't do it. Over and over and over again of getting battered. We've finally done it, and it's against Real Madrid. Huge, man. It's big.
It is, and look, it's fully earned and deserved. When you look back on this Champions League campaign, we finished in the third place in the league. Like, from the top four finishers, it was Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal, and Inter Milan. Barcelona and Inter Milan are the semifinal on the other side. And it's Arsenal and PSG. Okay, so PSG snuck in. Good for them. From 15th place in the league play, now to be in the semifinals. That's great. But at the same time, Arsenal deserve to be here. And as a fan base, we've been waiting for us to be able to swing with the big boys. Like, this is it. You're living through it right now.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to put you on the spot with this one. Do you expect to end up in the final? And if we end up in the final, do you expect us to win the whole damn thing?
So when I went to the guy who was at the shop earlier, the Real Madrid fan, he said, I hope you guys go all the way, but I also think Barca can beat anyone. And deep down, I thought, I fucking hope it's Barca. I got some unfinished business with Barca. I hope it's them. I want them in the final. I think Arsenal are going to the final. Yes, it's a different PSG team. Yes, we will have a more elaborate preview pod for those two legs. But right now, at this moment in time, you just beat the champions. You just beat the guys who own this tournament. There should be nothing. You should have zero fear for anything else that's ahead of you. You go through it all.
I'm a believer. Inject that copium. Inject that hopium. I'm a believer. PSG, I think they're good. And they're obviously better than they were when we first played them. Oh, absolutely. They have a great attacking line. But could you say it's any better than Real Madrid's? Maybe form-wise. You could say it's form-wise. They're better. But player for player, no. So I'm a believer. My hope is up. I think we could do it. I think we could do the damn thing.
I think so too, man. I gotta be honest with you. I think we've already gone an hour on this beat, man. So I don't even know if we should chat at all about the Premier League. There's a game coming up, obviously. It's a Thursday night. The pod's not going to drop until Friday. Hope everyone's having a great weekend whenever, wherever you're listening. And we do have Ipswich coming up on Sunday. I mean, what's your, mentality going into that game?
Mentality going into this Ipswich game, bro? I don't really care. That's just straight up. I don't care. No injuries. I know it's bad to say. I mean, show up to all these games. I just don't really care. My energy is all. It's like a Beauty and the Beast situation, man. I'm looking at the beauty. I don't want to look at the beast. I don't want to look at it. I'm looking at all the beauty right now. My mind's only on one thing.
No injuries. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's top of mind, dude. The result, I don't really care. I mean, I expect us to win, but even if we don't, I don't think it's the end of the world. I just don't, honestly. I want to see rotation. I think I totally hear you. I want to see Winery play. I want to see maybe Zinchenko play, maybe Tierney play. Yeah, maybe Benny Blanco can get some time. Great. But as far as the results and showing out for it and expecting some huge performance after these last two legs, I'm just not. I think go have fun. This is go have fun mode, dude, because we got a bigger tournament to worry about.
So I just pulled up the table. It's an 8-point gap between Arsenal and 5th place, which is City. So now the 5th place team is in the Champions League from the Premier League. So we're not even looking at top 4, but looking at top 5 now. It's an 8-point gap with 6 games to go. I would love to stay in 2nd place, of course. And it's a 4-point gap with Newcastle there. And they do not have a game in hand. They've played their games. So I'd love to stay in 2nd place. Yeah, it's Ipswich. Let's get the win. But KP, it's all about them Champions League nights, man. That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about. And with that, I just hope everybody really, really enjoys their weekend. Have fun watching the game. Don't worry about the outcome. And soak it in. Moments you just live through history, honestly. And hopefully, there's more to come. There is still a lot more to come from this team and Mikel Arteta. So thank you for spending time with us. As always, if you've been listening for a while, make sure you subscribe and drop a rating or a review. And we will see you on the other side.
Be easy.